Marcia's right. The view is incredible up here. It's very hard to follow Marcia Tillotson. I want you all to feel for me here. Marcia, thank you so much for your warm welcome, and thank you to Wells Fargo for being an incredible sponsor and community partner. I need to let you all know that we were blown away putting together the sponsor list for this luncheon. The overwhelming support was just amazing. And thanks to our sponsors at all levels, this luncheon was completely paid for and all the pieces associated with it before we ever walked into this ballroom. I want you all to know that. I'd like to recognize and thank the remaining sponsors now, and it is a long list, so if you could hold your applause till the end, I would appreciate it. Our presenting sponsors are Apartment Realty Advisors, Duke Energy, Faison Enterprises, and Piedmont Natural Gas. Our sustaining sponsors are AT&T North Carolina, Bank of America, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, Coca-Cola Bottling Company Consolidated, and Morgan Stanley. Our maintaining sponsors are Alston & Bird LLC, Apollo Graphics, BB&T, Brown Brothers Harriman, Carolinas Healthcare System, Dixon Hughes PLLC, Elliott Davis, First Citizens Bank, Food Lion, Monahan Group, SunTrust, Sylvan Learning Centers, University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and Wells, Daisley, and Rabin. We are deeply grateful to this incredible array of sponsors. Please help me give them a big round of applause. It's my great joy to share with you just some of the highlights from our YWCA this year. We continue to deepen our commitment to the elimination of racism. Our board, our staff, and this larger YWCA family share a heightened sense of urgency about the need to combat racial injustice in our community. We've hosted community forums at the YWCA, we've used media outlets to spark conversations around the subject, and we've partnered with other groups such as Get Real 2011 and Mecklenburg Ministries, who also embrace this vision of a racially just Charlotte. We are planning our second Stand Against Racism Day, a day of awareness that we will share with YWCAs throughout the country, and I hope you'll look out for our communications to you about how you can be involved on that day, which will be April 29th, 2011. It does happen to be the same day that William and Kate are getting married, so we are not going to have events in the morning because we want you to be able to recover from watching the royal wedding. They'll all be late afternoon. We know better than to fight the media on that one. In our fantastic youth programs department, all 10 of our youth learning centers, which are dotted throughout Charlotte and in Monroe and Union County, serving over 250 5 through 12-year-old youth every weekday. We're a bustle of nonstop activity and enrichment opportunities. As a Crossroads Charlotte organization, which we feel very strongly about, we forged many long-term partnerships with corporate and university volunteers. And these volunteers come in and wrap love and support around our children and stay with them consistently throughout the year. They also use a teaching tolerance curriculum, which was created by the Southern Poverty Law Center, which allows them to lead the children through thought-provoking but age-appropriate activities that help them to start to think about combating bias and discrimination. We also had some fun with an Art and Science Council grant, which allowed our children to learn the thrill of painting with acrylics on canvas, and 10 original artworks done by our children were hung in the rooftop pavilion of the Harvey B. Gantt Center, which was fantastic. Unfortunately, what we've learned that this means is that they are never going back to crayons and markers. And lastly, you heard us, if you were here last year, talk a little bit about the Accelerated Reader program, and that is being used in all 10 of our youth learning centers. And I want you to know that of the many reading tests taken in all of the youth learning centers, our kids have passed 83% of them. In transitional housing, now we have 2 transitional housing programs. We do a lot of things collaboratively when we can, and we launched a new program called Getting Ahead in a Just Getting By World. And this is based upon the groundbreaking research of Ruby Payne and Philip Duvall. What that does is once a week over a 4-month period, women from Women in Transition and moms from Families Together get together in a kitchen table setting and unpack the concepts of what happens when you're in generational poverty and how that impacts your life choices and your life opportunities and how they can shift that mental model and that mindset that they have to make better choices for themselves. We intend to learn a lot from them as they finish up the course in the next month. In our Women in Transition program, we deepened a collaboration with Dove's Nest, and we are now serving as their aftercare for women who are in recovery from addictions. They come into our Women in Transition program afterwards. That connection was a natural fit, and it's amazing to us and to the women that we serve how well both programs work when they're working together. In Families Together, we entered the 2nd year of a powerful alliance with the Charlotte Housing Authority, forging a Section 8 subsidy partnership that's a win for the YWCA, a win for the Charlotte Housing Authority, and most importantly, a long-term win for families who are overcoming homelessness. And in our co-ed fitness center, Marcia stole some of my comments, I have to tell you, donors transformed this outdated multi-purpose room that we had. The multi-purpose room that we had was a cement floor with blue and gray linoleum over it, and you can imagine jumping up and down on that floor doing aerobics was really painful on the knees. And thanks to friends who sponsored square yards of rolled good flooring, we have a completely transformed room that is just beautiful. If you're looking for a fitness home, and I know Marcia already made her pitch, but I have to too, we would love to have you. It is a co-ed fitness center. We find that we're reminding people all the time that real men do love the YWCA. You can practice yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi. You can work with a personal trainer, swim laps, do cardio, take any of our wonderful classes. I think we have the best instructors in town. And most importantly, you can just exercise your body and declutter your mind at a place where there are an array of life-changing programs for our community. Marcia also mentioned that we are kicking off the new year with a young adults affinity group. And you need to know that I'm a little too old to lead that. So we have staff and volunteers who are of the Generation Y generation who have planned this affinity group, and it is named the 1902 Society. You might ask why. 1902 is the year that this YWCA was founded in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we felt that the visionary women of the YWCA in 1902 could be carried forward by the visionary women of 2011. And as Marcia mentioned, we're going to have a kickoff at the Sunset Grill on March 10th. If you or anyone you know and love would be interested in being a part of that group, we believe it's going to help make our very relevant mission real for a new generation. In closing, I want to commend the staff and the volunteers of the YWCA Central Carolinas. They make our programs amazing, and we take great pride in the fact that person after person who walks into any of our YWCA doors says that they feel met with genuine warmth and the spirit of possibility. You know from your own experiences at work, at home, that in order to have a positive environment like that, it takes ongoing care and tending. And it's never to be taken for granted. So if you are a board member, an advisory council member, a volunteer in any fashion, or a staff member, will you please stand so that we may thank you?